Hey there, welcome to Night Sky Wisdom and Tarot. I'm Alex. I'm here to bring you a general reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. Honestly, whichever placement you resonate with the most. Welcome cross watchers as well. So I'm going to do a 7-card horseshoe spread and clarify where necessary to get more clarity about the messages. What I want to say. Oh, I also ask that you keep in mind about any major astrological occurrences happening at the time of your readings. The ones that I am aware of, I will always point out. But I am not an astrologer, although that is my next intention to get very thoroughly trained on that as well, because I do believe it's important to consider with the messages. That being said, right now I do know that there is a Saturn retrograde that we are going into. We're coming out of a Mercury retrograde in Gemini and Taurus. Even though we're still in post shadow, and then going immediately into Saturn retrograde. So if any messages about stalls, delays, standstills, revisiting structures in your life and foundations, keep in mind that this, if you're hearing this when it's first posted, that's what's going on astrologically. So it could be nothing other than for the reason for you to just review, clarify, and confirm to the universe that this is how you want to continue to proceed. It's really about karmic energy heavy right now, because Saturn is the ruler over all things karma, okay? So what are the messages for Capricorn? I'm sorry guys. Ooh, that was a slip. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. Let's see. And I don't read reversals. I do everything in the upright. However, I will be able to sense if the energy is a reversed energy, if that makes sense. Haven't done a reading for Cancer in a while, so I feel the need to reiterate that. Let's see what you got going on here. And I'm feeling, oh, I forgot to mention. So heavy on my mind when thinking about doing Cancer reading today was the topic of love. Now, I do all kinds of topics: financial, spiritual evolution, journeys, family connections. But before I even started this reading, love was on the brain. Okay, so I'm going to be reading for you in the context that this is a love message off the gate. I'm just listening to what Spirit is telling me. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Swords, that may be relevant. So Cancer, for those messages are for in the recent past, there's a Knight of Wands energy coming in for you. So I do feel that someone's giving you a lot of attention in such a way, though, they come across like a Rico Suave or a Playgirl, whichever the gender is. The person gives, like, they're too smooth. I just get that energy. Too smooth, too attractive, and it almost feels like too good to be true. It's not in a corny way. This is all energy that I'm channeling. And also the Knight of Wands is very attractive, very passionate, very led by intuition. And they draw people in with their energy as well as their physical attractiveness. In your present energy, we have a major arcana of the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So, because of this, along with your advice card, which we have not gotten to yet, I do feel that this Knight of Wands may be a bit of a test for you. Now, remember, I also stated to you that we are currently in a Saturn retrograde. So, what does that mean? This person's energy is familiar, or it could be a return of a past energy. However, right now around you, you're in the energy of the Wheel of Fortune, which isn't so much you, but it's the energy surrounding you, because it's the universe encouraging you to propel to the next level. And everything around you is supporting you getting to the next level in your life. The decision you make while this wheel is in motion is going to be imperative right now. So you are at a very important pivot point in your journey, Cancer. Even though this isn't necessarily representative of a crossroads, I feel that it is in this specific reading, because it's like the universe is saying, hey, we can go forward in a new direction, and we can upgrade you. Your upgrade is available. It's up to you whether or not you tune in to the frequency for to allow it to happen. And in your near future energy is the Tower, which makes so much sense, because anytime there's a major upgrade in your life, or even a downgrade, or even a setback, anytime some major transition that comes in quick and fast, like on the wheel, you know, that usually indicates that something gets whisked away. An old way of being, an old way of thinking, if it's for the purposes of an upgrade. But also keep in mind, the Tower could indicate tearing things down because you continue to operate in the old way. So it's now forcibly taking things away from you that you still have a heavy grip on, whether you like it or not. And I feel like this Knight of Wands energy that's coming in is a test to see, have you really learned the lessons set forth from your previous encounter with the Knight of Wands, whether it's the same person or just the same energy. And your advice position, King of Wands. So Spirit is saying, look, Cancer, the type of energy this person holds, yes, it speaks to you, but they weren't matured or ready for it yet. Are they matured yet? Are they matured? Are they a king yet? Or are they still a knight? See, the knight is a little bit less accountable with regard to self-accountability. They're a lot less accountable to the damage and the effect they have on people when they engage them in the heat of the moment and leave in the dark of the night, right? The Knight of Wands isn't much one to stick around for consequences and repercussions, but the King of Wands has established territory where he is. So even though he brings the passion and the fire, he's not abandoning the place that he has considered home. So Spirit is saying, if you want a King of Wands, remember what you want. Energy surrounding you is Nine of Pentacles, which is great energy. Because you know what? It doesn't mean necessarily that you're single, but it does mean that you're independent. It doesn't necessarily mean to stay single. But what it means is whatever you engage in, couple with, partner with, whether it be a person, energy, an activity, always do so without putting at risk your own self-worth and your own value. Don't allow anything into your territory that puts at risk everything that you've grown from the roots up. Anything you've established, the self-worth you've established, the lessons that you've learned, your actual physical 3D abundance in the form of money, property, whatever it is, don't put that at risk. Continue to allow, if you want partnership in your life, engage, entertain it, figure out whether or not it's something you want to go any further with, but never do so at the risk of your own self-worth, because I feel like the universe is saying that you've done this work before and you've said you've learned your lesson, and you're moving as though you've learned your lesson, and you've established, independent of this energy, a lot that indicates that lesson was learned. But hey, let's throw the Knight of Wands back in here. Did you really learn? Okay. And your obstacle or opportunity position is Five of Cups. And you can actually look at this as both an obstacle or opportunity. Five of Cups is about grieving a loss, mourning a loss, but also still having something to salvage and take with you on the journey. So 3 of the Cups are knocked over, 2 are behind you, and you're not really focused on the other 2, but they are there and accessible to you. Most of your focus is on what you lost. I think I'm feeling more of a warning energy, so this could potentially be an obstacle, because when this previous Knight of Wands energy, regardless of if it was this person or not, but that energy that was so familiar, when it left, I feel like it froze you. It froze you, and it put you in this loop of pain and questioning your own self-worth. It's like on paper, sometimes you can know. You know you're valuable. You know that logically this person's decision doesn't really affect your value, but in the heart space, it's a lot more difficult to let go and embrace the fact that you're still worthy. You're still, like, their inability to love you does not reflect your ability to be loved in general. And so Spirit's saying, you know, this person has, if they have the red flags that you've experienced in the past, do you remember the energy that it put you in when it held you back so much from life in general and engaging in general? So for the Cancers that I feel this message is for, when this person left, because I do believe this person left, whether it be they picked up and left, they abandoned, or whether they had such toxic energies, sometimes it's like they're making the choice to leave because they know they can't stay. So and continue to treat you the way they treat you, or have the substance abuse or the physical abuse problems. So it's like, even though you may have physically put them out, they mentally made the decision to check out and leave. So do you remember this energy and how much it took you to overcome it? So why play with fire again with this Knight of Wands? Especially when they're not even coming forth to you like in the advanced state of the King of Wands, like you already determined is what you need in your life. And if you can hold on to your self-worth and your self-value and not allow things to come in and make you compromise yourself, everything that you've built around you, your 10th Pentacle will come in. 10 of Pentacles is about building a foundation of stability, both financially and in emotional support. Flourishing. It's about legacy, generation, wealth building, but it's for generations to come. So even in partnership, in love, you're establishing something that could be handed on and with pride from generation to generation, even if it's just the love, the type of love you two share from between each other. So let's see about this Knight of Wands though. I'm feeling, okay, so what I'm getting is that this Knight of Wands is the one energy that you're being asked to avoid. But I don't feel like this is the only energy that's coming in for you right now. That's the thing. But for some reason, Spirit feels like it's necessary to remind you of the one that reminds you of the past in a negative way. Maybe the good parts of the past, but the past ended up being very toxic and negative outcome, right? So remember, this is standing out no matter who all is coming at you. I do feel like you have more than one option, but this one is the danger zone. Danger Will Watson. Let's clarify this Knight of Wands. Yeah, Magician, Nine of Wands, and the Devil. Who? Okay. Clear as day. Magician is in the reverse. It's not in the reverse, but remember, I read the energies of reversals. Magician in the reverse is a person who is able to pull your puppet strings, which makes so much sense because look at the Devil. What is he doing? He's pulling their puppet strings. Magician in the reverse is about a manifester who's able to manifest and actually manipulate the actions of others and the feelings of others to their own advantage, but to your disadvantage. So it's much like a narcissistic energy. I know that word. I'm so sick of that word. Because everyone who has narcissistic tendencies is not a narcissist. It's just overused, but it is what it is. When it comes to Magician in reverse, that's what it is. Everything is about positioning things to their advantage, getting things to come to be, and not so positive of ways, not so honest of ways. Nine of Wands, Wounded Warrior. This is you trying to withstand this energy, trying to stick it out. You really put your all into that situation, and I get the energy that you felt like the more you stayed and endured, that eventually they would come around. But at the end of the day, it was the same old devil, the same old toxicity, and you were the one whose puppet strings were being pulled and who were tied and bound to this person who used their powers not for good but for evil when it came to you. And they did have some toxicity about them, and I get heavy energy. They may have been depressed or had some kind of bipolar disorder, something about them that wasn't very stable. Either way, you got sucked into the toxic cycle because they weren't really getting help for it. So now in the present energy surrounding you is the Wheel. And God's like, are you ready to jump on board? Because you can stay back here and repeat this cycle again. Or you can jump on this wheel, right on into the Tower, knock down all this old stuff, and start fresh. And potentially with the King of Wands. The Sun. Five of Cups again. The Moon. Yeah, this is just repeating this Five of Cups energy over here, and also what we already said about the potential for going into this ultimate happiness, this Ten of Pentacles energy. The Sun is here. That's the happiest card in the deck. The inner child is happy. You know, everything around is flourishing. They're on their way up, right? Everything, all wish fulfillment. And usually in the other Ten of Pentacles card, I believe there's a sun in this card. So it's almost illuminating the way to the Ten of Pentacles. But then we have this Five of Cups and focusing on the loss of the past. And then there's this Moon energy highlighting this Five of Cups energy. So there is some toxic pull still between you and the past. So this is why the Knight of Wands is coming out. Even though, again, I'm channeling that this is not the only energy that you have options to move forward with in a romantic way. But for some reason, the Knight of, well, not for some reason, but the Knight of Wands is being highlighted in this reading because there's someone around you there's very much connected or tied to old energy, or this is an old person coming back in, and Spirit is like, you have to remember the ugly underbelly of the loss, because they may suck you in with all the good stuff. Sometimes hindsight bias really puts us in the mind of thinking more about the positive than the negative, and we overly highlight the good. And that's also what this could mean here. We overly highlight the good, we remember the good, and we forget the past. The Moon energy is about, you might have to actually do the work to remind yourself about what the past, what happened, what was the outcome. Okay, typically I don't necessarily clarify every card, but looks like we might end up going through quite a few. So let's clarify the Tower that you're coming into. Okay, listen, Knight of Wands is coming out again under the Tower. Leave this person alone. Three of Wands, the Tower. Bro, I cannot make this. Listen to me. The Knight of Wands, the negative energy of the past is coming back in under the Tower. So this is definitely a negative Tower that you're stepping right into if you mess with this old energy again. Three of Wands, it's like you engage with them and you wait for a better outcome, and what do you end up with? Ultimate disruption and destruction. I don't think that's what you're waiting on here, but that's what's coming. Oh, I knew it was like, I'm telling you, I had this message like love, love, love. And my general readings, like I said, I usually just let the cards lead me, but I was instructed clearly that this was a message that needed to be focused on love from my Cancer collective. So let's clarify the King of Wands as the advice. Also, have you counted somebody out because it doesn't seem... See, here's the thing. Knight of Wands is very much aggressive, but I'm going to tell you in general life, I'm going to... disclaimer, I'm inserting my experience, okay? The messy ones are always in your face quicker. They always want a relationship quicker. They want a commitment quicker. That doesn't mean that everyone who... sees what they want and goes after it is messy. But out of the ones in your past who have been messy, who have created this tumultuous types of situations, the ones, as much as men are told, the ones that are harder to get are usually the ones worth fighting for. It's the same for women too. So this is whether you're male or female, but I'm just saying for the women that are listening, it's the same in your situation too. If you're pursuing a man, is that oftentimes the one that are loudest, most aggressive, most obvious up front, the ones who kind of try to pull you in with gifts and compliments, sometimes that's not the best ones. The ones that are willing to take their time and be a little bit more strategic. Underlying the King of Wands is the Five of Swords, the Emperor, and the Eight of Wands. This is the advice for you. So Spirit is really, again, warning you about the conflict that will ensue if you take anything less than King of Wands energy. I'm also getting an Emperor under here and an Eight of Wands. Again, I feel like there's more than one person that is trying to get at you, communicate with you, connect with you. But you're also being told that whoever is the one that's really in this king or energy is going to be a little bit more intentional They're going to be direct communicators, and everything that they're going to do is going to be reflective of their decision to balance things out with you. There's not going to be any questioning or second guessing about this situation. It's not going to be like you have to see. This Five of Swords energy is about conflict, but it's also about fighting dirty, kind of strategizing in a way that's not the most fair. And hear me out, how I'm getting this as well is that you don't need to do all of this interpretation of what they say versus what they mean, or positioning yourself to be seen by this person, or trying to make sure you keep their attention, and all of this. Even though it's you're doing it because you feel like, oh, this is what I need to do to keep this person's attention, it's also kind of playing dirty. It's not playing by the rules, and it sets you up for the outcome of getting played dirty, because you don't have to do all of that for somebody who's really into you and about you. Now, other people may be slower, but that's because if they're really truly about commitment and establishing an empire with you, that when they do proceed and move, it's going to be with clarity, directness. Do you get what I'm saying? So Spirit is saying, don't go fall for anything less than that. You're not going to have to be strategic about obtaining your King of Wands. Let's see about this Five of Cups again, because we've already had the Five of Cups come out twice. So let's clarify this in the obstacle position. I feel like Spirit is saying you minimizing the loss from the past, because this person, there was such an intense, passionate pull to this person. When you get in that energy again, you can tend to minimize the sorrow of the loss. Five of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, the Hermit. Yeah, you really need to gain clarity about this situation. Be honest with yourself about how you felt when you felt that sense of abandonment. Go within and remember with clarity, even if you need to journal it. Write down all the things that are pulling you towards this person other than just pheromones, okay? Because a lot of that is chemistry, it's sexual desire, it's the excitement of it, but that eventually wears off. And what are you left with? What sacrifice was made? What did you sacrifice, or how did they sacrifice or compromise you? At the end of the day, what is the truth of the matter? Not the feelings you have now, not the excitement and the whirlwind fairy tale that you've created maybe in your mind about how it could change, but what's the reality of the situation? I feel like Spirit is telling you to give somebody else more time, and it's not that you're waiting on someone or that they're stringing you along. There's someone else in your energy, they're just not so forward. It doesn't seem so sexy, even though King of Wands is very sexy, but the way they're going about it is not this bad boy way of like trying to whisk you off your feet. And you really need to give that more credit than what you are, and be a bit more patient than what you're. Sorry, my camera cuts off at like 23 minutes. Be a little bit more patient, because a lot of times the love that lasts and ends up being the strongest, it doesn't always start off with so much drama. Even on the good side of drama, you know, it's not all a Disney fairy tale. Underneath the Ten of Pentacles, again, we have the Nine of Pentacles, because your Ten of Pentacles is not going to require you to compromise yourself. It's not. The person who really loves you loves everything about you, that you built such a strong foundation, that you know your worth and your value. That's primary part of what makes the right person want to come in, and makes the right person know that they can't compromise that. Page of Pentacles. What did I say? What's this? Hold on. Okay. This is the Ten of Pentacles, right? What's the Nine of Pentacles plus the Ace of Pentacles? Remember I said they'll bring in that 10th Pentacle? They're going to make an offer, but you got to be patient. Pentacles are one of the slower of the pages, the Knights, the Kings, because they're trying to make sure that the offers that they make end up leading to something stable. I say all that to pull a Chariot card. But I feel that the Chariot card, because Chariot is about fast forward motion and balance, that's key keyword balance. So the initial state, it may take them longer to come in with this offer, but that's because they actually want a relationship. They want a healthy relationship. They want a happy relationship. They want abundance and stability in the family and in the I'm hearing co-create, not just with children. So there may be some collaborative efforts as far as businesses and all of that. They are keeping everything in mind. But once they decide, they've decided and they move forward. But you got to give people, you know, if we're used to toxicity, we don't know what it looks like sometimes when someone comes in a healthy way. So Spirit's asking you to sit back and really examine the approach of this the Knight of Wands energy from the past and the one in the present, whether they're the same or different people, versus the other energies that are very interested in you, what I'm getting, but not being so fiery about it. And to understand that there is value in someone being a little bit more strategic and respectful and considerate before they engage and make all of these promises that they don't know they can keep. Think about the loss of the past and how that felt. And how everything, one minute you felt like you had the world at your feet with this person, and the next minute, torn away. Okay? So anyway, I hope this helps. Please like, comment, please subscribe. My subscriber count seems to have frozen. And I don't know if people just aren't subscribing or if it's YouTube, because people are coming by and checking out the videos. So I would love for you to join the soul family. I'm all about growth here. But anyway, I hope this helps. Love you, I'm saying that again. Is it a Capricorn? Because the devil card did come out. Either way, love you, Cancer. I really do. Bye.